Hello, good morning, Cal from CWD back at the Church Lawton Pond. We've got a quartz sleeve and the bulb in the Evo 75. I've just put expanding foam in the holes. It's absolutely crazy, got out everywhere. That's fine, at least all the holes are filled. So what we'll be able to do is get it cut off, use a multi-tool for that. Makes it dead easy. Cutting through the expanding foam, because the standing knife only goes, about half an inch deep or something. So you can be there all day, it can look quite messy. Got the liner, so that's going to be going in once the windows are in. I'm picking the windows up tomorrow, it's Wednesday today. Thursday tomorrow I'm picking up the windows. And then we're going to get them fit. So we've got a tarp on there at the moment. It's not really big enough, so I'm probably going to get a different one. Customers bought that. But I reckon it would be best off getting a bigger one, close those gaps. I've got two 2 kilowatt heaters. They're just warming up all the pipes and everything so I can solvent weld them together and help this expanding foam go off. What else are we doing? Yeah, other than, well, we're gluing everything together today. So we're gluing all the pressure pipe and everything together. I'll run through a few different stages of how we do that, because some parts, it depends what order you do it in. Because a 90, is always 90 degrees, but then when you've got another 90 on the other end, you've got to get both of those set right. So it doesn't matter too much in this rubber fitting, because you can angle it where you want. But once you've got that 90 set, it's very important how that 90 is set. So you're best off gluing that 90, gluing that 90 on this side, leaving this and this loose, because with this you could unscrew that union and you can pivot it so you can have that facing where you want. And then when you've got them both facing each other, then you can glue that end and that end in together. With these unions, it doesn't matter, that's just a straight run, so you can't get that wrong. Just wax them, solvent weld them. So this down into there, you can't really get, well, you can get wrong because that needs to be facing that way. So I'll plumb down here and then I'll have both of these, so we just have to push them together. So I'll get that glued. This can be pivoted, and also actually this can be pivoted, so it doesn't really matter. I can mess about and muck it all up completely. I can just undo that union, and I can make the pipe face wherever I want to. The Tempest is all hard piped, so there's no unions on that, there's just slide valves. So that you have to get absolutely spot on. It's worth using a magic marker with them just to mark off where it is, number each bit that you're going to glue. And then the pump, I'm going to make sure that's a bit suspended. Oh yeah, I'm going to get the underlay in as well. Once this expanding foam's gone off, the sun's going to be hitting it soon. There's a bit of heat, it's nice. Actually it feels really warm, that. Yeah, that's good. So that expanding foam will go off, and yeah, I'll take the face plates off and clean them up, because I didn't expect it to go as big as it did. I squirted a bit in there, it only did half. Left it 5 minutes, it wasn't expanding much, so I thought I'll just fill it up, and now it's doing that. This is Nexus waste pipe kit. You can see it's sticking out a bit too far. We want it going about here. We want the elbow for the waste pipe about here, so we're going to shorten that, but I'm going to get that fitted in first. Customers taking off these bits of wood and painted them white. Thought he might have done that. So that's them. So I'll get them screwed on there, and then wherever the waste ends, we'll plumb into. I'm going to try and do it as close to here though, because we don't want to leave that hanging out like that, because he's going to end up kicking it, knocking it, and mucking it up. But yeah, you can see with this, you can reach underneath, well, and over. See if I can do this. I can't do it with one hand. No, I can't. I can't do it with one hand. I'll just blame it on the cold. There we go. It's a bit tight, that. But yeah, you can do it with two hands. With one hand, it don't work too well, but you can still grip it. I don't know if you can see, but even with the pipe sticking all the way out there. So with them sticking in here, we know he's still going to be able to access that, so that's going to be fine. we're going to hook the air pumps up. Going to remember to glue this on as well, because otherwise that's just going to burst off once the air pump's gone on. We've got a 20 litre an hour air pump going on the bottom drain, and a 60, well, litre a minute even, 20 litre a minute, and a 60 litre a minute going into the Nexus. So what I'm going to do with this pipe, because it is a bit flimsy and a bit, you know, it folds too easy and kinks and all that, I've got some 8x12 pneumatic blue air hose. It's a lot higher quality, so I'm going to put that on there instead, just so it's, you know, because we end up replacing these quite often. They do go quite brittle, especially if they're outdoors. This is indoors, well, mostly indoors, so we'll replace that just to make sure that that's not going to be an issue, because you know, it lasts for forever, the stuff that we use. And yeah, I just had to heat that up before I stuck it on. And as always, remember, you need to glue this bit in. Just loosen it, 2 hands on sec. There. So that bit there, it doesn't come glued in. No idea why. Should just be glued in. Because there's no reason for it not to be glued in. The whole point of it is to convert this to that. So yeah, just make sure that's glued in. I've done it myself plenty of times where I've left a job and I've had to drive back, and it's just because I forgot to glue that bit in. So yeah, glue that in and then stick it on the top, because it's a lot easier to fit this pipe. I just heated it up. I just got the pipe in front of the 2 kilowatt heater, heated it up, and now that's absolutely solid on there. It's contracted because of the cold. It's absolutely solid around there. I'll get a nice bead of sealant around there as well, the pond window sealant, once it's mounted on here. But yeah, all that is a bit of solvent glue on there, a bit of solvent glue in there, and whack it on. Nice and easy. And there's the pumps down there. These 2 Pond Sbet compacts, they run pretty quiet and they're quite economical as well. And if you have any issues with the warranty on them, it's quite easy. Just get in touch with us. If you have an issue within the year or 2, let us know, and we can normally get it sorted with the manufacturer quite quickly. So yeah, any questions, let us know. But target for today is, I hope that expanding foam goes off, otherwise I'm going to have to remove it all, and that's going to be a pain. But the target's going to be, cut that expanding foam, get the underlay on. When you're putting the underlay on, I've got, you can either use, I've got a staple gun down there. So you can use a staple gun, but be careful if you are using a staple gun, because if you put, you staple it in here, and then you put something over it and then you start tugging it, this can come off and the staples can be facing inside, and that kind of negates the whole point of having underlay, because you've got a sharp bit in your pond. We also have staples that, kind of shaped like this, that you hammer in. I think I'm going to use them instead. They're a lot more heavy duty than the staple gun, and yeah, once they're in there, there's very little risk of it pulling out and facing inside the pond. When you're putting it around here, you don't go over this, you just go up to it. You don't even need to go right up to it. There can be a bit of a gap. That's not, it's not that important. I'll just stick this on the floor. Yeah, so that's nice and solid. That's that window sealant in there, so that's nice and yeah, it's not going anywhere. That strong stuff. So underlay in today is what I want. Hard pipe in, all piped together. The waste pipe kit plumbed in to the waste, and both the air pumps installed. But I'm going to have to go and get some different pipe, because it's not long enough anyway. I could use that little bit of pipe just to get it done in for now. So get both the air pumps set up, glue this and this in, and then glue all the hard pipe and all the waste and everything in. And then all it is a case of waiting for the windows, getting them installed. I'll show you these adapters that we're going to use on the window. So I got that, and I got that. So on the window over there, just because it's got 3 windows, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be an issue. But just to be sure, for the sake of the cost of about 50 quid, we've got these standoff adapters. So what we're going to do is going to have 4 holes drilled in the piece of glass. They come pre-drilled, you can't drill it yourself because you'll shatter it, so don't even attempt it. So we're going to have 1 hole, and then 1 hole in that end and the 6-foot piece. And then I'll just unscrew this. Can't unscrew it, it's too cold. 1 second. Can't get that one out. Try another one. Okay, run out early today. No. What else? Hard work this. Right, anyway, you're going to be able to understand. Basically, this bit here comes out and replaced with this bit. So I'm going to drill a 6 or 7 mil hole. Not in this one, in that one. And I'm going to stick this in. And then I'm going to have it sticking out just outside of the glass enough that this end bit here can screw onto there, like that. And then that'll hold that in place. Obviously I'll have the little rubber washer on there as well. So this little bit of rubber here goes inside the glass, and that's pulling it into the pond, like, so it's going to look like that on the inside. So it's going to have 4 stainless steel bits on the inside of the pond, but they're all rounded off and everything. There's no chance the fish are going to hurt themselves on that. But that's going to just help me sleep better at night, knowing that, you know, we've got 2 fairly big windows and a small window in the corner, which is going to give us that extra peace of mind that we know that that is all being tied in and pulled in that way, because the glass it's structural glass, it's strong stuff. So we might as well use some of that strength if we can by using them 4 standoff adapters on there. So yeah, that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Well, we're going to pick the glass up tomorrow, then we're going to do it on Friday. Then I'm going to go, before I put the underlay on, I'm just going to go around, make sure there's no sharp bits, like there's a few little niggly bits hanging out. So I'll make sure there's none of that happening. These little, if there's any big gaping holes, like some of these sleepers can be a bit terrible, like that's a bit of a bad one there. So we'll get that filled in, either with sealant, or if it is very deep you can use a bit of expanding foam. But yeah, there's the 3 targets. Get all the hard piping and everything done, get the de-nibbing on the inside of the pond, and then get the underlay on. That's target for today. I'm just going to show you how we're going to plumb from the Nexus pressure pipe kit to this waste pipe, which is going to run down there. So what we're going to do is, this is a waste pipe 40mm to 40mm straight connector. These actually fit inside of pressure fittings like the 90s, and they're fitting much easier when using 2 hands, I tell you. 1 second. There we go, just hang the camera like that. So that fits inside there. So that converts from your waste pipe to your waste connector into your pressure connector. So you can either use a straight or an elbow. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to plop this on the end of there, like so, and then we're just going to have 1.5-inch pipe going from there into the end of there. So we need to cut them pipes down so it matches that, and then job's good in. Now, so just replaced the Quartz sleeve inside there. So the customer returned it, but they didn't take the bloody Quartz sleeve out. And there's the bulb. The bulb's absolutely massive. But I told my missus that. So that's basically going in there. So make sure you're wearing gloves when you're handling the bulb, because the grease or whatever muck on your hands can damage it. So wear gloves. Got my thermal ones on because it's bloody -2. Yeah, what you do, I need 2 hands for that. I'm not even chancing doing that with one hand. So you shove the bulb in, and then these bits look like that when you start. So you just push that bit out. That rubber pretty much always falls off, so just get it up. So you push them out, you get that end on, and then when the bulb's in there you get the other end on, and then you pull that all the way up here, and then you screw it on. Nice and easy. Okay, so I'll just show you the reason why I use unions when you're going inside of the UVs, because I've had to take that off so I can put it back on its mounting bracket there, and on its bracket there. So its brackets now, and all we need to do, get the unions up, line it up, and screw that on. Got to do that both sides, so every time you need to maintain it, change your bulb, what have you, nice and easy to do. Okay, I'm about to start putting the underlay in, so I'm going to be using my trusty little lump hammer, and these are the galvanised staples, 30 by 3.55. So you just whack them in. Every point it ends, so one there, maybe one there. Sometimes I do a bead of seal at the top actually, so I can push it in, and that seems to hold it nicely in place. And then we'll do it over the front of this, and then you can just cut around that, because you can see it protruding out. So we're going to run a whole piece up to here, because the glass is going to go there, so you don't need underlay in front of the glass. So yeah, we're going to run it all the way along there, and then we do that hospital corner, and then where it comes out to, and it should just be a 2 metre run on the floor pretty much. And then we'll go all the way around there. You can see bottom drain still full of water, no leaks, so I'll have to remember to bring the pond vac on Friday when we're fitting the glass, get that emptied and get the drain set and everything. So yeah, I'm just going to whack the underlay on now. Hello again. Alright, so everything is plumbed in now. So we've got both pumps plumbed in. That pump down there you can't really see. There it is. All these returns and everything all done. Expanding foam in there. This can be cut. That one kind of ripped out. You can just cut it back with a multi-tool, the multi-cutter. Overflow is set in here. We can stick a union on that, or a rubber, or whatever, if it ever needs changing in future. Dead easy to cut. Tempest waste is plumbed in. Overflow is going down there. This is a spare bit. As you can see, that pump's wobbling. It's not sat on the floor. And then I'm just going to make sure all these connections are tight next time. I remember doing these two, but I've not done this bottom one here, so I need to remember to do that. Then we're going to get the media put in there. Make sure all the unions are all tight. These are, because I've just done them. I'll double check them too. I'm going to band these together just to make them a bit more solid. And then underlay, as you can see, that's in there. That's just stapled on with these staples. There's no sharp bits facing inside the pond whatsoever. So the box liner is sat down there. Cut the bottom drain hole. I've got the 2 return holes to cut as well. But I'll cut them before I stick the liner in when the windows are here. So we're going to run 2 heaters inside. We're lucky because it's covered that we can heat it. So the customer's going to stick both heaters on. So it's going to be 2 kilowatt heaters. Stick it on for about 3 hours before we turn up, and then once the glass is here, we'll get the heaters on the glass for a bit, because the glass is going to be the same temperature as outside. And then we'll show you in the video when we're installing them, how we install them. I'm sure you've already seen what we do. But yeah, it's nice and simple. Glue the glass in first, put the liner in, cut the liner away. Nice and easy. So yeah, pretty chuffed with what I've managed to get done today. I've not really run into any problems, except for the expanding foam going crazy, but that was easy to solve. It's looking good. It's looking more like a pond, and once you get that underlay all in there, it completely changes how it looks. So I can't wait to get this one filled up now.